Welcome back to ADlib&&D, where a group of amateur role-playing enthusiasts run a weekly D&D 5e game with a twist. The viewing public can vote on a large group of random concepts before the episode takes place. Once tallied, the DM will select 5 of the 10 most popular and tailor that episode of the game against the chosen ideas. Anything can happen, no episode will be the same. You can find where to vote on the Filthy Pig Discord server. Now, welcome back. Hopefully we won't have any of the issues we suffered a couple of weeks ago with our internet. The audio seems to be a lot better this time, so that's good. To fill everyone in on what happened last time, which wasn't overly much, but so the party managed to work their way through the underground abandoned city and remove a monstrous-looking carrion crawler and some of the local denizens, and returned the Doneru temple to its prime state on the surface of the area near Terrason. So when they arrived there, one of the guards was called over and looked a bit perturbed due to the fact that a strange building had appeared out of nowhere and there was a group of people standing nearby. The party managed to convince him to return back to the town of Terrason to inform them of the good news that they've returned the Temple of Doneru to them. So there was also the mention that to the east there was a bit of a cloud build-up, which Wabani was guessing could signal snow, which is probably a little bit odd this far south, but it's not unheard of. Anyway, while this is happening, it takes probably about half an hour, but that guard returns and he's got a small group of people in tow. You notice there is certainly the priest Hillman who's following him. He's moving a little bit slowly though. You also have the innkeep Orlo Finspicker with him, but he didn't manage to bring anyone else with him at the time. But it's up to you guys. So they're probably about 100, 200 feet away, heading towards you slowly due to the speed that Father Hillman walks.
Okay.
I should warn everyone that autocorrect seems to have renamed Pinkety Pink Eye. So it's now Pink Eye the Pony.
I certainly can change that if you'd like.
Oh dear. Jace looks around for something that he could stand in as a podium. He wants to climb up somewhere where he gets a little bit of a vantage point.
Jace, I have an idea. Doneru is granted me an interesting new ability. You just
is it
tell
fog
me,
cloud?
Well, I mean it's gorgeous. I could do that, but I wasn't thinking about that. Look, I can make my voice sound like a booming sound. How about I'll be your proxy? You tell me what to say, and then I will make it sound godlike.
Jace gives Wabani a look. It's like, I don't think you understand, Wabani. If you act as my proxy, how does that make people look at me?
That matters?
Well, yes.
Oh,
Jace gives his hair a bit of a toss.
Then I'll leave it in your hands. You do what you need to do.
Well, I for one think that if Jace wants more attention, he absolutely needs to get at the front of the party and start singing a loud celebratory song. Because after all, isn't this an occasion of joy for everyone?
Oh, yeah, of course. I think it makes a lot of sense. Hop to it, Bard.
Sing, and then we'll dance.
Sing.
I can provide dancing animals.
I'll start dancing. Just
Jace just climbs up on something. Is there a piece of the architecture or a nearby boulder? He hops up somewhere and calls out to the approaching throng and says, "Rejoice! Well, Barney, what's your goddess's name again?"
No, you could just call her the best goddess of all. The temple is back.
Yeah.
The best goddess of all has brought you a boon through your servants, the Dodgy Brothers.
And sister.
And sister. Behold, her temple.
And at this proclamation, the small party has gathered near, got a little bit closer to actually hear Jace mentioning this, and Hillman goes, "Oh, what? Speak up, young man. It's difficult to hear you."
As he's doing that, though, and I'm dancing about in the special like backpack boy dance in front of him. Every time I put my foot down, I use thaumaturgy to make a minor tremor in the ground.
Okay, just one moment. Okay, so the group sort of seems a little bit unsteady on their feet as they walk nearby due to your ability to cause tremors through the ground, and it looks like Hillman is going to fall over, but at the last moment, Orlo catches him and holds him steady. They reach the temple, and it's at this point that Hillman looks on at the temple, and there's a brief flash of recognition to his voice, and goes, to his face actually, and he looks over and goes, "Well, this is most intriguing. Did you say this is a lost temple to the best? Was it the best goddess in the world?"
Your Lady Doneru. We saw her personally, and she gave us great gifts. Jace pulls out his brush and starts brushing his hair, and the sparks go everywhere. And he says, and for the people of this town, she gives you this, her temple.
This is the best temple in the world. It is not a tribute temple.
It is very auspicious.
So Orlo looks rather awestruck and goes, "Well, that's amazing. Can I go inside and have a look? Come on, Father Hillman, let's have a look inside. This is astounding."
There's that little pond over there. As part of the temple, you have to take your shoes off and wash your feet before you go in.
And
it's mystical.
At this point, Wabani is pointing to a muddy pile right next to the temple, and the Father Hillman looks at you, walks up and smacks you on the hand with his walking stick and goes, "None of that. Right, let's have a look."
Oh my goodness, this man's rather uppity.
He's old and crotchety.
I looked at Riki.
Oh, he's uppity and annoying.
Should I trip him? He's just smacked me on the hands.
I wouldn't suggest that, but if it happened, it might be a worthwhile life lesson for him.
So you have an opportunity. As he walks past.
How old is he?
He'd be mid-60s.
Yeah, okay.
And a little bit worse for wear.
No, maybe not. You might kill him.
He's in his 60s. He'll be fine. So I, as subtly as possible, after getting my hands smacked and getting the thumbs up from Riki, I try to trip him.
Okay. Make a acrobatics roll.
Acrobatics, not sleight of hand. Okay. Here we go. 24.
So with a very delicate step that no one notices, you put your foot right at the heel point as he's raising his leg, and it clips it just enough to cause the momentum for him to overbalance, and with Orlo there almost holding onto his hand, he's still not expecting this trajectory, and poor Father Hillman collapses to the ground, and you hear a loud crack as he's trying to put his arm to stop him from hurting himself. And he looks on, and his face turns white and goes, "Ah!" and Orlo races over and goes, "Father Hillman, are you okay? Are you okay?"
To the temple. Maybe he can be healed.
Of course, yes, this makes sense, and I'll help him up. And
do you grab his broken arm?
Do I know that he broke his arm?
Make a medicine check.
Maybe is it a hip? I know it sounded like it was an arm, but is it a hip?
It could be a hip.
16.
His forearm is his left forearm, which he used to try and absorb the impact, is at an awkward angle, and he's holding it with a look of horrible pain on his face.
Oh, Father Hillman, you had an oopsie daisy. Let me help you go into the temple. This is a wonder of Doneru.
He looks at you, and it's just he's almost having difficulty listening to what you're saying. He's in such agonizing pain. He's going, "Oh!"
Oh, I'll healing word him.
Do you set the bone before you do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you find some rough implements to cause to set up a splint, and then the rush of warmth runs over his arm, and the look of pain fades, and it goes, that was a nasty trip. But thank the gods in Doneru that this temple healed me in my horrible pain.
Well, we must all be humble.
And he sort of gets up. Orlo helps him again, unless you're helping him as well.
Yeah, I help him. I feel slightly guilty.
Help him.
he leans on you more than you were expecting, and starts to limp towards the building. And once he gets close enough and sees the architecture and the murals or the mosaics across the entrance of the images of Doneru and the sea and stuff, he looks with reverence and turns to the group and says, "How did this get here?" While sort of holding onto his arm a little bit.
Well, it's simple. We went through the underground structure, raised the actual goddess, Doneru, who then blessed us with her wondrous might and moved on back to her other plane. Simple.
Well, praise Doneru. She is a goddess of formidable strength, isn't she? Ow.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because strangely enough, I just learned that sometimes she looks like me, and sometimes she looks like Jace, and sometimes she looks like Riki over there. I don't know what Cinder sees. Maybe Cinder sees her as a weasel. I don't know, but she's amazing.
Yes, she is a wonderful and generous god. I must examine this place, but I think this area is now blessed, and we should look at moving closer, or at least setting up some sort of establishment around this temple. It is truly a sight of wonder. I thank you all. And he starts shaking each of your hands in turn. Orlo sort of stands back and is a little bit awestruck as well, and sort of gives Jace a big bear hug.
Jace sort of claps him on the back and disentangles himself when he gets the moment.
So Orlo goes, "Well, I think a big feast is in honor. I will head back to town and start getting preparations ready if you're happy to return soon. We will have a big feast tonight, and there will be, I'm sure, much rejoicing.
Will you kill a cow?
I possibly. This certainly seems like an occasion where that would be sufficient.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, come now, Wabani. The best ones have been dead a few days.
Yeah, of course. You know, I've heard there was a village up north. What they did was they used there was a magician who would use shatter nearby the meat to make it more tender.
That could backfire horribly.
Well, he didn't.
As a wizard, it's my responsibility to just let you know.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, he'd been doing it for years, and damn, that meat was tender. It was delicious.
Ricky, why have you never done this for us?
Well, have you ever delivered me an entire deceased cow
Well,
and said, tenderize? Or have you said, Ricky, we're being attacked by things. Help us not die. Which one of those two things do you think I've been most busy with?
I think we've had plenty of time for both, and maybe if you'd told us that this was an option, we could have brought you some cows.
Well, perhaps we could try it in the future, but for now, it seems a little bit of a disrespectful way to treat a deceased bovine.
Disrespectful way. Your words don't make sense to me, Ricky. Is this a gnomish thing?
Might be. I just don't like the prospect of accidentally exploding good meat everywhere.
Oh well, yes, of course. I completely agree. That would be an enormous waste. That would be sacrilege. You don't do that.
No, you don't waste good food.
No, certainly not. But look, isn't it wonderful, good people of Terrason?
Oh well, the good people of Terrason consist of Father Hillman, who's trying to tug you towards the temple. Orlo is headed back to set up the feast, and the guard that you asked to retrieve some people is sort of hanging back and looking a little bit frightened. But he nods vigorously at your statement.
Of the temple or the father?
An audience is an audience.
Okay. Well then, let us proceed.
So
what do you think, Father Hillman? Beautiful, is it not?
It's spectacular. And did you say that Doneru was here? I think I can feel her presence.
Yes, she was here and she spoke to us.
Yep, and apparently, where we stand, this temple was the grand cathedral of the city of Mengshi, which was an entire city.
Really?
That blessed Doneru. You see, we know these things.
That's fascinating. I must check my books back at my church to see if any of that lines up. But please, can we have a look around? And he kind of drags you as much as he can, but he seems eager.
Yeah, okay, let's go take a look around for sure.
Let's keep an eye on him just in case there's anything that might kill him.
I was going to say trip him up and break his other arm.
Well, yeah, it doesn't seem to take much. I'm a bit worried.
So he leans on you, and there's some points, Wabani, where it's a little bit awkward because he seems to notice that you don't have any hair and is playing with your bald head a little bit absent-mindedly.
He just
How
needs
tall
to learn.
is Father Hillman? I thought he was decrepit.
Make him
He
back
is.
off, man. He's reaching upwards and playing with your bald head. This guy needs to learn some
I
boundaries.
slap his hands away at that. That's not cool.
The priests don't behave this way where we're from.
Yeah, I tell you.
They need to learn some boundaries. We have rules.
Yes, I'm very offended, and I'm a scion of Doneru. You don't do that. I mean, and you slap my hands for telling you that you need to wash your feet? It's a sign of respect.
I'm sorry. I was distracted.
but the writings in here and the architecture is fascinating, isn't it? I mean, look at that one there. It's of a woman riding a whale through the seas. Is that how she looked to you?
Does the image kind of look like an albino woman?
No, this one is almost like a siren or a mermaid. So beautifully looking human.
No, she didn't have a tail. She looked like me. She was even bald. Beautiful bald.
Oh, well, that's fascinating. I have heard that she appears as you would expect her to appear and is different to each person, but to actually have seen this happen nearby is most intriguing. I think I might just sit here for a little while and take it all in.
And he sort
you
of
want me to look? There's these candles over there. I could light some of those candles. I mean, those are 1,000-year-old candles.
And he sort of nods and starts to move his hand towards your head again, but stops halfway.
He's
going to lose his fingers soon.
He is. The poor guy. And
the poor guy. Goodness.
And then he sits down and begins to meditate.
Having gone through this place, there wasn't much. Like, there's not like an altar where there might be like robes that I can go and grab him.
There won't be any robes, but there is a few rooms. There's the main assembly area with some stone pews along there and a raised dais at the end.
Any gold?
No, there's no material wealth here. It's all made of stone, and he's just sitting on one of the pews and taking it all in. There's a few side rooms for where the priests can prepare themselves before going out to address the populace and such. And it's much bigger and grander than the temple that was situated in the town of Terrason. There's also some stained glass windows of images of the goddess in different forms, and also some of her followers, her angels, in these as well. You don't catch sight of Alvelv at all in any of these. Well, actually, make a perception check.
Riki, now that I'm kind of looking at these things in detail, any of this strike a chord in all of your book learnings?
I'm going to have a look and have a careful think. DM, shall that be a religion roll?
Yeah, you can make a religion roll, definitely.
Oh, that's an 18.
So 20 perception for Jace and 14 for Wabani. So Wabani, you look around and still a little bit distracted from your interaction with Hillman before. But Jace manages to notice that at the bottom of one of the stained glass windows is an image that looks similar to what Alvelv looks like, but it's not the centerpiece of the stained glass window, and instead he's sort of a little bit low area, and looks like he's looking for something.
Jace calls Wabani over and says, "Hey, it's your mate, Carlos."
Do we think that he fell before the temple was built?
With that religion check, you would get the feeling that he had fallen after the temple was built, considering the temple was built probably about, or at least restored about 10 hours ago. He's still in that fallen state, but is trying to redeem himself. You also notice, Jace, that there's someone that looks almost similar to Wabani.
Ooh,
it's uncanny.
New windows.
So this is new stuff we're looking at. It's not like from when the temple fell.
Well, she came in and rebuilt it, so it follows the bones of the original structure, but you can't tell where the old stuff was and the new stuff begins. But certainly, it looks like she's added her flair.
Riki starts desperately looking for signs of Jason herself, particularly looking for Cinders and Bindi, and even Pink Eye the pony.
So there's no signs of either of you two, but certainly there is of Wabani, although he seems to be once again only a small sort of footnote in one of the stained glass windows. Do you point that out to Wabani, by the way, Jace, or not?
I do. What's he doing in the image?
I'm sitting in the pew with Hillmond.
In the image.
He is standing there, and his fists seem to be glowing with a little bit of a bright light, and he is sort of like sort of punching the sky and looking rather exuberant.
Okay. Is there anything else around that might give a clue as to the circumstances?
So there is it's not a fight scene as such. It's more of like the main part of the stained glass window is an image of Doneru as she is walking across the beach and sort of waving her arm, and there's a inrushing wave coming in to crash against the coast, and Wabani is sort of standing off to the side up on one of the dunes and sort of raising his fist towards her, as it were, and that's the one that's glowing.
Okay. Cool.
Is the image of Doneru like the sigil of Doneru, or is it actually an image of a woman?
It's an image of Doneru as a albino, bald albino.
Ooh, look at that. You see that? Look at that, Hillmond. Oh, these pews are really comfortable. How about that, huh?
Yes, they're surprisingly comfortable for stone. What was that you were pointing out?
Look over there at that stained glass window there. That's what I saw when I seen Doneru. She looked just like that.
Oh, my eyes aren't what they used to be.
And he sort of starts to get up and wander towards the stained glass window, and he looks at it closely and goes,
well, that's rather a strange looking representation of her, but if that's what you think you saw, then well, who am I to argue?
It's very attractive, I think.
Who's that person there that looks surprisingly like you, Wabani?
Huh? What? Where?
And he sort of uses his cane to point to the image that I discussed before.
Is the image left-handed or right-handed?
It's whatever your dominant hand is.
Holy shit, look at that. That's Doneru's magic, of course. I'm a scion of Doneru. Of course I should be in the window. I'm an important person, I tell you. One day, do you remember in your book when you showed us the picture of Carlos, or Evel? Anyways, he had wings. I'm gonna have those, I tell you. It's a goal.
He looks at you, and there's shrewdness in his eyes as he turns back and forth, and he sort of nods and goes,
I think if you continue in your path supporting her, I'm sure you will reach those lofty goals.
Ascend, indeed.
Jace casts prestidigitation. I can create a sort of a small mark on a surface, and I'm going to use that to try to draw in Jace and Riki into the picture.
Make a performance check.
Very
See how,
good.
how good it is.
Very good.
18.
Okay, it's acceptable.
Acceptable.
It's not as good a quality as the stained glass windows, considering they were created by a deity.
Well,
But-
okay.
But it would be work to be proud of.
Jess calls Wabani over and says, See, look.
I take a look at that. And wow, oh.
So-
Does it look like Jace or does it look like Riki?
What kind of pose are you putting in here? What are they doing?
So
They're the Scanlan pelvic thrust.
I think Jace is striking a heroic pose, and Riki's looking up adoringly at him.
Oh, interesting. And now Riki noticed beforehand that this wasn't in the picture. Has she noticed it there now?
Well, Jace just called Wabani over. It's up to Riki whether she came too.
You don't believe in Doneru? Like, I mean, I suppose you believe in her because you met her now, and she gave you a present. But you're in a window too. That doesn't make any. Well, I mean,
it's not a window. It's on the wall.
On the wall.
Yeah.
It's just drawn graffiti.
It'll disappear after an hour.
That's I'm happy for you, Jace, and I give him a good slap on the back.
Can you make a perception check, please, Wabani?
I'm good at those. 18.
So you notice that this has been drawn on, and underneath it, it looks like some sort of mural that it's been drawn on top of.
I still pat Jace on the back, and I'm wise enough to know that he's fudged the scene up, and I was like, yes, Jace, you're an important person. I'll make sure that Hillman doesn't see that, but
what?
Good for you. But don't worry.
It was a 27 deception roll.
Don't worry though, Jace. We'll only be here for the beef celebration barbecue, and then we can get on our way to finish doing what killing you need killing to be done. Killing for killing's sake, I guess.
Against Kilman.
Yes. Well, if I remember correctly, your goddess did command you to kill my target for me, didn't she?
No. She wouldn't do that.
Well, I beg to differ. I'm pretty sure I heard her say that you should go and do what you were planning to do, and that was kill my target.
She's just, being nice to you, telling me that I should help you out, so I'm going to help you. Not kill your target for you. That's your job. I'll be the shoulder that you can lean on when you put your crossbow up, I guess.
I'll take what I can get, but I do think your goddess was very much in favour of this particular chap dying.
I'm sure she wanted me to go after Cordwin as well, but we'll one step at a time, one brown at a time.
I can reserve a page in my journal for a death list.
But I'm still not, too keen on killing other people's.
That's
creatures.
Why you make it a list. That's why you make it a list in your journal, so you can revise it and have a think about it.
Or recite it each night before bed. Either works.
That's
really.
either works, really.
So you go over a list of people that you've killed?
No, you just make a list of people that you think you might like to kill, and then if you haven't killed them at the end of the week, you have a look at the list and decide if you really want to kill them or not.
It's at this point that you see Bindi sort of emerge out of the backpack, and she's holding a tiny little piece of paper, scrap of paper, and she's holding it up and pointing it out to everyone.
That's right. We call it arrow journaling in my village.
I thought you were going to say that Bindi was holding a tiny little squirrel skull and saying, "Squeak, squeak! This is who I killed."
This adventure just turned a bit dark. She's wearing another squirrel skull as a hat to match her new armor. Bindi gone bad. So what's on that piece of paper, Bindi? And when did you learn to read and write?
She shows you the piece of paper, and it's just scribble, but she's pointing out to you via squirrel that it's her kill list.
Oh!
What's
I
that?
appreciate the effort. Would you like to tell me who's on it, darling? Do you
Kinda looks like
remember? Can you read your
droppings.
own writing?
The first on the list is Cinders. Currently.
Well, I think
Cinders and ashes.
that's right. Now, do you remember that the principle of the arrow journaling, darling? You revise your list at the end of each week and still see if it's still valid. So, I have to say, if you actually manage to, just a word to the wise, if you kill Cinders, she'll just come back really pissed off.
She looks crestfallen and then gets out and scrawls off the only entry that she has on the list. And then crawls back into the backpack.
Okay. No, darling, you sleep on it. Just think of some other ways to act out that rage.
You feel the backpack is jostling around a little bit. She might be throwing things.
I feel like I'm getting I feel like I'm getting kicked in the back the same way you do if you have an angry toddler in the child seat behind you while you're driving your car. Like thump, 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 thump.
Are you
down in
sure
front.
that are you sure that maybe we should try healing instead of killing?
Yes, I think you can also make yourself a healing list if you would like.
Jace is going to have a chat to the little squirrel next time we have camp, and Riki's distracted, and Jace can sort of give some good advice.
Okay. So you were aware that Orlo was planning the feast back at Terrason, not here, by the way.
Yes, but he will take time to prepare a proper feast, and one must be fashionably late.
True.
So what do you think, all in all, Father Hillman? Will you? I envision that this is to be your temple for Doneru, to find renewed and galvanize new faith.
Well, I think that's part of why she did this, and it's thanks to you three, or is it four? I think I saw an animal there as well. To that it's come to pass. I think that I will use this temple in her honor, but for me to set it up correctly, it might take a little bit of time, like a few days or a week at least.
Of course.
Disapprove of what Doneru has done with the temple?
No, why would people disapprove? This is
I was just saying,
wonderful work.
you seem to feel like it's a few days hard work short of where it should be.
No, to actually fit it out. You can see there's pews here, but there's nothing in this room. And
He points off to the room where the clergy usually reside, and
it's a bit of a trek from here to Terrason. So we might need to make sure that the path towards here is sufficient, that it's not all dangerous, things of this nature, and then we'll have to spread word far and wide to bring more to our flock.
I suspect word will spread far and wide most promptly, so perhaps having the temple in a fit state is a very wise move. So perhaps, although, if you generated some spontaneous worship, perhaps the worshippers could be encouraged to also help prepare the temple.
Well, I suspect that I will get some support from Terrason to get this moving post haste, and I think I might look into organizing that soon. But I think we should go back to Terrason to celebrate this wondrous occasion first.
Well,
what
just
say you?
make sure that you let everybody know that it was the scion of Doneru, Wobani, who's brought back this wonder of wonders with his two acolytes.
Jace clears his throat and gives Wabani a meaningful look.
Right, the Dodgy Brothers, okay, and sister. There was the Dodgy Brothers and sister.
I will certainly mention it, but you of all people should know that one of Doneru's tenets is not to praise oneself to the detriment of others. You should be doing this because of your faith in her, not to expect a return.
No way. I've never gotten that feeling from her ever. What? Is this written down somewhere?
Yes, it's in one of her one of the major books that I have back in my old church. If you would like to peruse it.
Well, your worshipfulness. The thing is, there are 4 of us standing here, and 3 of us have met Doneru. Which one? Who are those 3?
I don't rightly know.
I got my hand up.
Yeah, Jace puts his hand up. Ricky, you put your hand up.
As much as I object to this as an exercise, yes, I put my hand up. I just cast a glare towards Jace.
Hands up in derision.
I feel like you're, disrespecting us and the work that we've just done in the name of your goddess and for the benefit of you and your entire town.
I don't feel that way. I'm not disrespecting you. I already told you that I'm going to let everyone know that you did this, and as far as you're aware, Orlo went over to set up a celebration in your honor. It's
okay. Jace, don't worry. People must believe how they will believe, and he is the religious figure. For me, Doneru
you are the religious figure.
I'm a scion, yes, and I believe in Doneru in my way, and in my way, what he said it's different. But people believe and see what they see. So if he's going to bring this on, and it makes people better people who are not killing each other and making kill lists, that's probably a good thing. So I'm okay with him, doing those tenets. I myself probably won't practice it. Maybe I will. I don't know. I have to think on it. And I cast Fog Cloud.
And at that moment, Hillman turns around and goes,
"Oh, what's happened? Where is everyone?
And then you hear a bit of a clatter as his walking stick is hitting the pew.
So it's just
Help!
I go over towards him and take his arm and say, "I'm here, Father Hillman. Don't touch me, but I'm going to try to encourage you to sit down until this fog passes. That's the safest way. Wouldn't want you breaking another bone."
Make a persuasion check.
Oh dear. Okay. At -1, here I go. Oh, that's a 9.
It wasn't a hard DC, but he takes what you say and sits down and goes,
"Okay, I'll sit down. How long does this usually last?"
I go up, slowly make my way as quietly as I can towards the dais, and then I will wreath myself in the purplish sacred flame, and then make the fog cloud dissipate.
Okay, so are you trying to make a statement?
And then once the fog cloud dissipates and if the sacred flame is wreathing my arms anyways, I'll slowly turn and I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm okay with it. You teach your tenets, and I'll follow Doneru in my own way."
He's the fire starter, punking instigator. I nod.
Whoa.
Oh shit! I rolled a 4 on performance.
The flame catches one of your clothes and it starts to smolder, and it just loses the effect.
An unceremonious pat 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 pat.
He looks at you with one raised eyebrow and goes,
Are we ready to leave?"
Yes.
You noticed that Jason disappeared sometime during this fog cloud.
Where did you head?
Jason started heading back to town, but he probably hasn't got very far.
Okay. So Father Hillman stands and then sort of looks towards you, Riki, because you're the closest to him, and sort of grabs your shoulder. And
No touchy.
he sort of releases and wobbles a little bit, and then starts to walk out by himself using his walking stick slowly.
Maybe he uses the top of Riki's head as a walking stick because, I mean, she's so much smaller than...
You have to teach them independence at an early age. That's what I've heard.
Riki fire blasts him.
He's not on my list. That's why your list is important.
Okay, so you get back to town. When you do, you can see there's a heightened sense of excitement as it seems that Orlo has spread the world quite sufficiently. And while there's no decorations up at this point in time, when some of the kids catch sight of you returning with Father Hillman, they some of them bolt towards the city. Others sort of race up to you and go, "Is it true? Did you bring Doneru back?" They look up at you eagerly.
I point to Jace and go, "Yes, here she is." No, I don't. I don't do that. So don't believe everything you hear, kids. But in this case, it's true.
And I wear I put on the most astute bit of healer's calm that I can to just look like the scion that I'm trying to be, and I say nothing.
And Father Hillman sort of stops for a second and waves his walking stick at them, goes, "Shoo! Shoo!"
Goodness.
And they sort of scatter away from his walking stick, but they don't go too far. And then they look at the group and they start to chant. Outside of Father Hillman's walking stick range and going, "Wabani! Wabani! Jace! Jace!" And one of them, a little girl's going, "Riki! Riki!"
And just cheer onto that. I say, "Remember, kids, you can't beat the law."
Don't do drugs.
Jay starts playing a heroic ballad he's composed about the Dodgy Brothers' adventures restoring the Temple of Doneru.
And how does that go?
It's a very sort of noble sort of song, and it talks about how the Dodgy Brothers descended into the depths and faced these mutant horrors and defeated these Ninja Turtles and defied hazards of cave-ins and hordes of these Morlocks, and was through it all victorious. And then in the end, it ends with them meeting the goddess herself, who bestows upon them great blessings and a wish for a blessing for future success.
Okay, that's excellent. Could you make a performance check to see how catchy the tune is?
21.
Oh, very nice.
All right, so the kids catch on to it fairly quickly. They don't get all the lyrics, but they certainly get the tune down pat and start to sing along during the chorus, especially.
If they can get the chorus, that's the important part.
Yeah. But the chorus is mainly about Jace, isn't it?
Well, yeah, Jace did play a very pivotal role in all.
Okay, so they take that into account, and some of them run off with the new song. And as soon as you get back into the actual town itself, you can already hear some people humming it. It might be a sleeper sleeper hit. Okay. I wasn't planning on doing too much more in this town unless you guys want to run through the celebrations with any degree of detail. Or are you happy to progress, or like, is there some things? How long are you staying here, and what did you want to do?
I mean, I have enough spell slots left to try shatter on the cow.
Jace wasn't planning to remember the celebration in any degree of detail, so I think your plan works well for him.
What about yourself, Barney?
I would make sure that my wagon is still good and the barrels are still full, and if I had to, I'd probably go replenish. Yeah, I would need to replenish my healer's kit.
And in addition to that, Riki would probably make her way back to the library in the main church to compare her notes with what was already in the library, and make a few brief notes of her own.
Okay, so I'll let you guys do that. That won't take too long. Can I get you to make a investigation check, please, Riki, to see how effective your notes become?
26.
Okay, you get more than the gist of it. You get quite a bit of it verbatim, and get some important information that you were sourcing. So is it something exactly that you were chasing down, or?
Well, this is of Riki's. I mean, how often do scholars get to witness a real life materialization of a goddess?
Probably rather rarely.
So she's taken lots of detailed notes in what she's seen, and then tried to source out the more original text amongst the library and compared the notes, and come down with a shortened version of what she thought. And at some point, she'll write it all out and send it off to the universities.
Okay, you get quite a good rendition there of the events that have occurred and how Doneru behaved and such. And yes, I think that the notes you have would be of great interest to any university or library should you wish to pass on the knowledge.
At some point I'll submit them as a PhD, try and get tenure, and then I can be Professor Riki.
Every sage's dream.
Yeah, and then Cinders can perhaps have some kind of honorary title, as can Bindi.
Very cute. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
This will happen when Wabani gets wings, I suspect.
I avoid Riki completely because whatever she's doing is like utterly boring.
It very much is utterly boring, except for the fact that she's trying to insert stories about teeny little animals into the scholarly history of a goddess. Which is kind of equally boring.
Destroying the proper legitimate history by adding in fiction. Riki.
Interesting fiction.
What is she doing? So I will have just gone about replenishing stuff and then preparing my wagon to get ready. So I don't know. I just picked up some healing kit, replenishing supplies for the healer's kit, some replenishing torches, whatnot. I don't know. I just took off a couple gold.
Okay. That should be fine. Halfway through the evening, the word gets around that a blessing from Wabani will bring great wealth and prosperity to any who receive it. So you start getting a sort of a trail of people looking for you, and you're not hard to find, considering how you look and requesting blessings. What do you do?
Well, first off, I give everyone, all adults and children, a pinch of some liquid from the barrel with the red mark on it to drink up, and then I will kiss them on the forehead and say, "May Doneru bless you."
And the placebo effect works perfectly for them.
For sure. Didn't think of that, but you know.
They leave looking sort of excited and feel like they've been touched by Doneru herself.
And if any of them is a tailor, I'll ask every one of them as they come by, are you a tailor?
And at one point, a stocky man wearing some fine robes sort of nods and says,
Yes, I'm a tailor.
Oh, look, Doneru bless you and all that, and here's your little bit of very special alcohol from, damn, I can't remember his name from the other village. But look, I got here these purple and gold trimmed fabric. Could you whip something up, like, quickly, some new robes for me?
Oh, yes, I could possibly do that. I could work through the night and have it to you tomorrow morning if that's what you want.
I will double bless you for that.
Oh, of course. There's no payment needed. You are such a wonderful person, and the Doneru has certainly blessed us with your presence. Can I just get your measurements though first?
I'm not sure if I feel right about not paying you. I mean, yes, a blessing is good too, but a little bit of coin in the pocket.
No payment necessary.
Okay.
Your presence is all that's needed.
Once upon a time, I visited a tailor before, and he did this strange measurement down below. Do you need to do that again? It was fairly awkward.
If you don't want it to be somewhat riding up at that location.
No. Yeah, okay. And begrudgingly, I stand still while he takes his measurements.
Okay, so he indicates that he actually needs to go home to collect his gear, but comes back fairly quickly and takes the measurements he needs and the amount of cloth he needs. So I think you got enough for one garment, didn't you?
It was just one roll of the fabric.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll probably be enough for one garment.
Sure.
He sort of asks you some details of exactly what you're after, whether it's a fine cut or it's a flowing robe or something.
I let him know, kind of like, monkish type gear. So very for dexterous movements, and that when the shit goes down, I do use my fist. So close quarters, so it needs to be flexible and allow me great freedom of movement. So like wizard robes, no, that's not going to cut it.
I think I've got just the design. I've been saving it for a special occasion. I'll be back in the morning.
Thank you very much.
I just rolled to see how well he did. You'll find out tomorrow. Okay. And that's probably the. Is there anything else that you wanted to do? No, you're good.
Oh, I'm good.
Jace is just going to spend the evening carousing. When after the night's been going on for a bit, Jace is going to start encouraging Wabani to practice flying. But that's about it for his evening.
Which I willingly do.
With
a few
terrible consequences.
Well, I can't guarantee that. Maybe he succeeds.
There is at one point he's on top of the tavern, and there's a crowd of 50 people around going, Wabani, Wabani, Wabani.
Wait, come now. I mean, I hadn't been thinking about Alara. Oh, shit. And I take another swig. I'm not jumping from here, Jace. Now, don't be silly. I'm not ready for that. I need at least another week.
Everybody goes, oh, but you're the Scion!
I get down to about, the roof on the first floor, and then I'll jump off that one.
Okay. So you jump off, and your monk abilities are enough that you gracefully fall to the ground and touch with a very light touch, but there is no flying involved, and there's a mixture of awe and a little bit of disappointment because they were hoping that you would actually take off and fly to wherever it was they were expecting you to go to.
Don't worry, good people. That was at least half a second longer than the previous. I'm getting there.
Okay.
I could theoretically transform him somehow using prestidigitation. Is there any particular form that he would like to change into briefly to impress the masses? Could I turn him to a bird?
Turn Wabani into a bird?
Yes.
I don't think you can do that with prestidigitation.
Polymorph, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yes,
Polymorph, yes.
They leveled up prestidigitation without telling anyone. No, it's polymorph, sorry.
Right.
Another P spell. My brain got stuck on prestidigitation.
Right, so yes, you could do that to polymorph. You could
So I'm
turn
not
him
aware
into a
of it,
flying
so I'm
beast.
going to do a saving throw.
Well, he has to agree to it, really.
Or I could do a saving throw just because you're doing it and just trying to catch me unaware.
Or I could just say, Wabani, would you like to try out what it's like to fly?
Yes, I'll grow wings. You know, Riki, it's going to happen.
Can I grow wings on him temporarily?
Well, you have to transform him into a beast. So you can transform him into a giant eagle or a bird.
I say, well, hold still. You will experience what it's like.
Okay.
So what form do you turn him into?
I turn him into a giant eagle.
Okay. There's no roll needed for this.
Okay.
Okay,
And I will
so
fly about.
as she touches your form, she whispers a incantation, and you feel yourself starting to bend and stretch in unfamiliar ways, and your arms sort of get longer, and you feel something growing out of the back of your arms, and you look over and you see that it's feathers, but also your body stretches out, and your face turns to a bird's head with a beak, and before long you're standing there as a giant eagle.
I soar.
Say, oh, beautiful.
Everybody sort of looks on with wonder and cheer Wabani, the giant eagle.
Do I keep my wisdom and intelligence?
No, you get the stats of the eagle.
Do I see Cinders or Bindi?
No, they're hiding. They know you're now silly as a wheel.
There are some small kids in the audience, though.
They look tasty and tender.
I
So-
take off up in the air and I soar.
Okay, so do you soar for the whole hour?
Yep, the entire hour.
Okay,
I received no instructions. I just instantly started soaring.
okay. Can I get you to make a perception check with advantage, please?
Ooh, all right. 20. Dirty 20.
Okay, so as you're flying along in the night, your eagle eyes keenly catch some movement along the grass. It looks like a rabbit trying to flee from your presence. Do you swoop down to catch it?
I'm an eagle. Of course I do.
Okay. So you catch it and land on a nearby tree and devour the poor thing.
Kill
Covered.
list. Kill list.
It's a creature.
After the hour is up, you return, and there's certainly a lot more people that are drunk. It's getting late in the night.
Now I know that as a druid, when you turn, you can choose to turn your clothes or not. With polymorph, did it turn my clothes with me?
It would, yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm not walking back to the town naked. All right. That's-
No.
So, I've had a fair few drinks as well, and I've been carousing and drinking and having a good fun time. And I stumble out of the pub, and I run into a Barney, and I look up at his face and just reach up and pull a puff of rabbit's fur off his cheek and go, "Looks like you've been having fun too."
It was pretty cool. Not exactly what I don't know. Do I remember my experience as an eagle? Don't know.
You do, and there's a bit of a nasty aftertaste in your mouth at the moment.
It wasn't exactly what I thought it would be, Riki. I don't think I want to do that again. I mean, it was interesting to fly as an eagle, but me, Wobani, I wasn't there. Not really.
No. Well, perhaps we'll turn you into something a little more intelligent next time.
As long as I get to remember who I am.
Yes. Apologies for that.
I could have sworn for a second there. I think I remember seeing Bindi for a second, and I almost went after her.
Oh, she would have been okay. But how awesome was it, really?
It was pretty cool.
Yeah. And are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine for the moment.
Well, party on!
Just to
Yeah,
let you know, a giant eagle has an intelligence of 8 and a wisdom of 14. So,
Oh, that's all right then.
Okay, not so bad then.
and I think you would have been able to keep knowledge of like the fact that you're being polymorphed, and you're still Wabani, but you have the senses of the eagle and such.
So I wouldn't have gone after Bindi. Okay.
Not unless you wanted to. You could have had an inkling to chase some food, and that's probably why you caught the rabbit.
You could have eaten cinders a few times, though, but I would have asked you to pay for the cost of resurrecting her.
It would have been empty calories. Probably not worth it.
Yep. Well, anyway, I did have a small meal, but I've been anxious for this barbecue, so let's go see what Orlo did.
So did you use shatter to tenderize the meat?
Before I started drinking, yes.
Okay, make an Arcana check.
Am I going to owe the village the cost of a cow?
They'll be most upset.
To a dirty 20.
Okay, it's fine. You haven't done this before, but you have enough finesse with your spells such that you get the right location and tell everyone to step back, and then you release the spell, and it's a wave of sonic energy batters the meat such that it becomes perfectly tender, just as Wabani remembers it.
Ooh, look at that! Perfect.
We are
Isn't
heroes.
that delicious?
We
Good
are
job.
heroes in so many senses.
We just don't fail.
Nope.
These people are gonna love us. We're definitely scions.
We're definitely something.
Okay, so the rest of the night goes by unhindered. The next morning, Jace, you wake up finding one of Orlo's daughters in your bed, and you know that Orlo is not happy with anyone fooling around with his daughters. So what do you do?
Look, I'm pretty sure Jace has been in this situation plenty of times before. He sort of separates himself from Orlo's daughter, but does so in a way that is sort of very gallant still, and he thanks her and
Sends her packing.
sends her packing, basically.
So you gallantly kick her out of your bed.
Well, yes, but in a way that doesn't make her feel like she's being kicked out of his
Oh,
bed.
gotcha. I would really love to know what those words are.
The experience that Jace has in this means that she feels that she hasn't been kicked out and has only been told to head off on another errand to help out
Hey.
Jace.
Jace could make himself so hideous in the morning light that she voluntarily chooses to flee.
I don't think that's possible.
Disguise
Oh.
elf.
Would he ever
I
do
think-
that?
He could. That would work.
Yeah, of course he could, but does his vanity allow him?
Depends. Does his vanity get overwhelmed by his sense of self-preservation?
I'm pretty sure Jade's could take on Olo.
Yeah.
To be at least one level down in beauty. Not
So
two, though.
when you're at breakfast, that old guy, the rotund guy who was the tailor you were after before, Bunny, comes back with the roll of cloth and or the remnants on the roll of cloth and a set of clothes for you to wear. And says,
look. Thank you so much.
I did what I
Rotund
could,
Man.
but I think I might have drunk a little bit too much last night. I
Oh,
don't
shit.
think it's my best work.
It's your best. How good is it? Is it like, did he really fuck it up?
Make a perception check.
I'm sure you did a wonderful job, and Doneru guided your hands with a 14.
You look it over. Just to let you know, he rolled a natural 1.
Oh shit!
Oh no!
And it is horribly done. The arms are not identical. Like one's a bit longer than the other, and slightly off kilter.
Yeah.
It suits Wabani though.
There's a bit of staining on the chest.
It's pre-stained. You pay good money for proper pre-staining.
I look at Riki, and I don't want to offend the rotund fella by throwing the clothes at Riki. Yes, fine work. May Doneru bless you. Now, please, off you go. And I put my head down in my hands and sob.
Oh, what a waste. What a waste. Goodness me.
I should have given him Jace's fabric.
Nobody has mend or anything, do they? Can we mend it into a better garment?
You could probably get around to do that, yeah.
You'd mend it back to the original bolt.
Oh, I look up. I do have mending. You think I could do that?
It's worth a try, love. It's worth a try.
Yes, indeed. When we get on our way, I will just cut up whatever he did and try to mend it all back. Damn. I was hoping to have... It was such a beautiful fabric.
And it will be beautiful again. Just, yes. I would suspect that your tailor started celebrating before he started his tailoring.
Well, I'm not going to recommend him.
No, I wouldn't.
No social media review for him.
But don't put him on your kill list either, I think.
I'm still debating the sanity of doing such a thing. I mean, forest gnomes, you guys just walk differently than how we walk up north. We call that an analogy too, by the way, in case you didn't catch it. Just wanted to be sure. I'm
glad, because I had a really strange picture in my head for a minute.
Yeah, well, just trying to make things clear. You don't want to, lost in a translation, even though we both speak common.
Yes, well, I'm very list bound. So, how do you decide who your vendettas are against?
I've never killed anyone before. The first person I ever killed was the one to rescue Jace.
Oh yeah, we don't often kill people. We just get really angry, and instead of hitting them, we put it on our list. And then after we revise the list for a few months, usually the people drop off it.
Oh, so you have a kill list that you don't actually kill anybody on it?
Yeah, well, generally not. I mean, there are occasionally a few people who stay on the list, but, they're usually pretty awful. Back in my tribe,
we used to have like a really big vertebrae that people would punch. So it's kind of like your list, but we would punch a vertebrae.
Did that have a name?
Yeah, mammoth vertebrae.
No, but the action, did it have a name?
Oh, it was Salibatahat.
Ah, does that translate as beating the elephant?
Pretty much directly, yes.
Oh, good. That's fascinating, and I'll write that down in my list of interesting phrases. Back off, or I'll beat the elephant. All right. Are we ready to go, or does Jace need a bit more of a nap?
Jace is suddenly very keen to leave very quickly.
Okay.
So I hear there's a new temple nearby that'll likely be free and won't be booked up for weddings. If you're keen.
I think we'd better head off. I think that's probably the best for everyone.
Yeah, just be careful. Someone will start to beat the elephant if you're not careful.
Wabani, can you make a perception check, please?
Oh, okay. That is an 18.
Okay, you notice that one of the barmaids, Lucy Finspicker, is looking longingly at Chase at the moment. She looks a little bit
Jace?
dishevelled as well.
Riki, when a girl looks at a man like that, that's not a good look, is it? Not
I
when
might
a-
have to describe it to you later with diagrams. I
You
think I have
maybe-
I think I have a book that might help you with this.
Did you do something bad, Jace? She looks upset. Does she look upset, or does she look? Did she fall for his gallantry?
She doesn't look upset. She's sort of pining. It looks like she's pining after him at the moment, but can't do anything.
I mean, Jace, if you want, I mean, there's room on the wagon, but you would have to pay for her way.
Well, Barney, I think it's probably best for everyone if we just leave town and any complications behind us.
I pull the stylized rib bone that I grabbed and been working on. Are you sure you don't want to give her this bone?
Just quite like
Come
to
on,
say that.
say it. You know you want to say it.
I already gave her the bone last night. And
You've promised yourself to her? Well, for sure. And well, Bonnie starts heading. I start heading towards the young lady.
No, Barney, no. Let's just go. It's the way it has to be.
Well, if you haven't marked up your bone, then I don't think it really means you've promised yourself to her. It has to be marked.
Oh, I suspect his bone is fairly well marked. Let's keep going.
You'll have to show it to me one day.
Let's write that down and keep going.
We'll put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that.
No, let's not.
Okay, so you head out, much to Lucy's consternation, and it's a fine day. That sign of snow before didn't seem to eventuate, and you pack up Pinkety, Avenida, and Wildmane, and set off southwards towards the Duchy of the Duchy of I'm trying to remember now. It's been so long.
Such with a P.
Vino, something Vino, isn't it? God, I should know this stuff.
Oh boy.
Pontavino?
Pontavino,
yeah.
thank you. Yes, that's it. Okay, so as you head out, the temperature is quite cool. It is certainly heading towards winter now. You've been out for a few months, and since you've begun these adventures, and as by mid-morning, there is a look of snow on the eastern horizon again. This time, it looks probably a little bit more concrete, like it could snow fairly soon.
Is it snowing? I think I've asked this before, but is snowing down where we are? Is that normal for this?
It's not unheard of, but it is a little bit unusual.
But then I don't think I would know that because I'm from the north where it snows quite a bit. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we need to hurry up and head somewhere where they can turn his cloth into an actual outfit of something warm.
Well, they'll know the Dodgy Brothers forever now. So
you could have spent some time in the morning to have used mending to return it back to the bolt of cloth that it was.
Have we had a long rest? Can we have all our spells and everything back, please?
Oh yes, certainly.
Did we try? I know. No, there wouldn't have been time.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I was going to say, did we have time to go and sell the gems that we collected?
I think we tried, but they were too small a village.
Yeah. It's you wouldn't have got many people. Like, you could have probably sold one or two, but the majority you would find difficulty to find buyers.
Yeah, okay.
A place like, for example, Mendano would be easy to sell that, but not for something as small as Terrason.
Yeah, okay.
There is a town or a city to the south near the inland sea. If you continue heading south, that would have the ability to find buyers for the gems.
Okay. Well, I guess that's that, I think. My friends, Dodgy Brothers and Sister, I guess it's time to continue south.
Agreed. Let's head out.
Okay. Definitely.
So by about lunchtime, the first snows arrive, and it's just a light sprinkling at the moment. Doesn't seem to hinder you as you settle yourself down for lunch. I'm assuming you continue after lunch. You continue on your
just
passage.
Kill a ration and feed the animals, and then head on. How much is have I used up my barrel of alcohol?
So it would have been you've had it for about 3 weeks or so.
Yep, and I just gave it quite a bit to the village as part of the blessings.
Yeah, you wouldn't have much left at all then.
Okay,
you'd be pretty low.
Like 20% left or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so as you progress after lunch, the snow starts to get a little bit heavier, and the cold is really starting to get to you all. Do you have any sort of clothes that would keep you warm? I don't think you do you?
Well, I've got an extra set of healer's robes in one of the barrels that I brought with me.
I don't think I do. I think I'm carrying and wearing everything.
I mean, Jace, it's just sort of generic clothes. I haven't taken note of specifically what they are, what season they're for, but he does have a lot of clothes, so he could just layer up, I guess.
And he would be bigger than Riki, so could Riki perhaps borrow some if she's cold?
Some of the less fashionable items.
Well, I mean, I've got a bedroll. I mean, I could use that to wrap up in, because, I mean, I know these clothes are not sufficient for the winter.
Okay, so you can stop and try and keep yourself as warm as possible. Make a survival check, each of you, to see how well you do.
Okay. $23.
12.
I got a 6.
Okay, so Wabani's idea to use the bedroll seems to have helped. While the bedroll is getting quite damp, it is managing to keep his heat in and keep the cold out. Jace's layers of clothes is doing a somewhat effective job, but it's still the clothes are starting to get damp. So he's staying warm for now, but not sure how long that'll last. Riki, on the other hand, is starting to shiver. The clothes she's borrowed from Jace are rather large, and it's letting in gusts of wind and snow flurries on occasion, which is making it that she's starting to shiver.
She's kind of using prestidigitation fairly often to warm up about 1 cubic feet of the most important part of her garments.
Which cubic foot's that?
The brain.
The important bits.
So, how far are we from shelter? So, are we? Is there a village on the horizon? Are we able to get shelter somewhere?
There is probably a village about 1.5 days away from where you are. Actually, no, more like 2.5 days away. So there's a little bit more travel involved, unfortunately, and the snow is starting to get heavier and heavier. But as you are contemplating what
Maybe we should look for shelter.
As you were doing that, starting to look for shelter, the snow starts to become extremely thick, and you can't see anything except for the look of a hut in the distance, with a wooden log hut sitting on the side of the road with a billowing smoke coming out of the chimney, and a sign like it's quite warm inside, as it were.
No. Seems curious, but any port in a storm, let's make for that, hey?
And if it's a trap, it'll warm us up.
Sure, of course. We can't stay out in this weather. Look at you, Riki. God, your teeth don't stop chattering.
Yes, I'm kind of curled up into a little ball on poor old Pinkety's back, trying to fit myself into one square cube.
Why don't you put your bedroll on? Don't you got a bedroll?
Yeah, I'm wearing my bedroll. I'm all wrapped up, but I'm still freaking cold. Let's keep going.
Okay, so we head on towards the cabin.
Okay, so it's a chalet, a 2-story log abode. Looks very rustic from the outside.
It's a big hut.
It was hard to make out initially, but as you get closer, you can see it's actually 2 stories in size. And around the outside, it seems to have a sturdy stable with doors where you can leave your horses if you so desire.
Does Jace remember seeing this on his way north?
Make a history check.
$13.
It's hard to recall. Nothing immediately pops into your mind, but the run from your nemesis was swift at times, and your mind can be a little bit muddled about what was where. So it's difficult to say.
You said there was smoke coming out of the chimney, but is that the only sign of life? Does it look decrepit?
No, it looks like in good repair. There's sort of a not candlelight, probably some sort of log place firelight on a window on the ground floor that looks welcoming.
Can anybody detect magic or detect evil or something before we go any closer?
That's a thing?
Well, that's a no from you.
Well, no, I mean detect evil and stuff. I mean, I can detect magic. I know how to do that.
Just want to make sure that we're not what we're actually heading into.
I will, but I'm pretty sure that we need to be close when I cast it.
Okay, let's head in.
I've tried, casting from a mile away, and I can't see shit a mile away.
So we have a couple of options. We investigate, or we bundle the horses into the stable and hide out with the horses, or we knock on the door. What would you like to do?
Well, we'll put the horses in the stable and let's go inside. There's a fire in there. Gotta get you warm, Riki.
Yeah. Is the stable...
if you get frostbite, have you ever had frostbite before? Does it get this cold in Lord Lee?
When it does, we're in the middle of a forest, so we're a little sheltered, but we all manage to huddle around and keep warm. Yes, it does get quite cold.
Well, you don't want to get frostbite. You might lose your toes.
No, oh, my nose. My little nose. Let's keep going. Into the warmth.
So we head our horses for the stables.
Yeah.
Okay. So you find there's no one at the stables, but there are slots available to put your horses in, and they're totally enclosed from the weather. And inside, it's the stables at least. It's a little bit warmer than outside, so there's no fear of your horses perishing over the night. Or so you hope. There's no room for the wagon.
So
though.
we hope.
Well, if
Terrible
it gets a lot colder, it might be a problem. But
oh, so it's not an insulated stables.
It's somewhat insulated, but
Insulated from the blowing wind.
Yeah. It's enclosed, so there is a level of insulation. But
have I noticed the plants, the flora and fauna, reacting strangely to the snow? Like based check. On what I would know of the reaction of flora and fauna up north?
Make a nature check.
Okay. 13.
There is a mixture of deciduous and evergreen trees here. So the deciduous trees are struggling a little bit with the weather, but the evergreens are taking it in their stride, as it were.
And the deciduous are they still green then? So they haven't changed?
Well, it is winter, so they have dropped their leaves.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's at the first stage of winter, really. So some of them are still like shedding leaves, but most of them have dropped.
So does it look like there's anything in the stables for heating?
There isn't. It is a bit warmer there though, like warmer than the outside, but there is no sign of what's keeping it a little bit warmer.
Well, let's put all of the horses in this big stable so they at least have their body warmth for each other, and then let's go inside.
Agreed.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, I think this might be a good time to go on our 7-minute break, and we'll be back shortly.
Cool.
You are listening to ADlib&D. Now let's get back to the adventure. Welcome back, everyone. We now find the party in the middle of what seems to be a snow blizzard, and they've come across a 2-story chalet and have just stabled the horses. So we'll just move on to what you guys are doing at the moment.
So once, and is it big enough that I bring the wagon in?
You can't fit the wagon, but you can get the horses in there.
Okay, so I make sure that any of the goods that are in a wagon don't stay out in the snow. Anything that might get ruined by weather, I bring it into the stables. And what are you guys going to help, or are you guys going to go check the inn out? Or the chalet, whatever it is?
Jace will stow his horse and help Wabani with his wagon, and then I think we all might head in together.
That's a good idea. We'll check out the stable and everything first.
Is there a door between stable and inn or the chalet, or do we have to go back outside?
It's back outside. The stable is a separate building.
And all of our actions are in the stable didn't draw any notice or any comments, nothing?
No, not at this stage.
How
you
many?
did notice there's one other horse in there.
Only one other?
Yeah, it's a small. It's a smaller horse.
Like pony, like Riki's?
A little bit like it's a riding horse, but it's smaller and stockier than Wildmane.
What kind of condition was it in?
It looks a little bit ragged, but it seems to be happy enough where it is.
Can anyone speak to it?
I don't know. Can anyone speak to it?
Is it a small beast?
No, you can't speak to it.
Oh, that's a shame.
But
does
I
it
know
happen
Jace
to have
has
a
speak
chest
with
on its saddle?
I could blow a cell slot, or we could spend 10 minutes and I could talk to the horse. What do you want to ask her?
I just want to know who's its rider, how many other people are around, what's been going on.
Is it to have the saddle removed?
It does, yes.
Is the saddle in the stables?
Yeah. The saddle's there with the bridle and all the other equipment.
Like, we're fairly comfortable out here, aren't we? And we're not freezing to death or anything.
No, in the stable,
well-
it's warm enough that you probably don't want to spend a long time there, but you can spend at least half an hour or so.
Without fur, without working, we're gonna freeze. It won't be good. Let's check this saddle out. I take a look at it.
Okay, make what are you looking for in the saddle? You try and look for.
To be honest, I'm just looking to see if there's like maybe a box, a chest
On the saddle. Okay, make an investigation
connected
check.
to it or something.
Well, actually, you probably don't need to roll. There's nothing on it. It's
okay.
just a plain leather saddle with no saddlebags or anything on it.
Do I notice any markings on it?
With that check, there is some artistry or designs on it, but nothing that seems to jog your memory. It just seems like drawings of horses or something along those lines. Just a bit of artistic flair for the actual.
I pointed out to Riki and Jace. I don't know what this means. All this shenanigan stuff. I think maybe nothing strange about it.
Okay, maybe we should stable the horses as best we can to keep them warm and make our way inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
So you stable the horses and turn to the doorway into the chalet, and it opens. And inside, there's that same rustic feel you got outside. So the wooden walls are still there. It's quite cozy inside and warm. There's a roaring fire off to the left, and the bar is off to the right. Standing at the bar is a youngish human man, as far as you can tell. Seems to be a reddish complexion with a bit of red hair, cut quite short. He's wearing blue denim overalls over a white, slightly stained shirt. There's on the left-hand side near the roaring fire is a stooped, looks to be a dwarf in traveller's clothes with a mug of ale and some food nearby. He seems to be keeping to himself at this stage.
So
But as you went, sorry?
the man is behind the bar and the dwarf is standing by the fire?
He's sitting at a table near the fire.
And is it fairly obvious that the horse belongs to the dwarf, like stature-wise?
It would you would make no. It wouldn't be difficult to have logical leaps to indicate that is his horse. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
as you enter, the barkeep looks up and goes, greetings. It's so strange to have new people here, especially out from traveling in this kind of weather. How can I help you?
I think we're all about to die.
Greetings, innkeep. We
Did you
seek
actually say that,
room
Riki?
Yes, but only to you.
I start making the somatic gestures to cast fog cloud.
A fog cloud appears just as you're talking, Jace.
Oh gosh. Jay says, I say we seek lodgings for the night, but your inn seems to have taken in some fog. Is it always like this?
I don't know where this fog has come from, but we certainly have lodgings for the night if you need them.
Is it safe, Riki?
Yeah, so would take three rooms if you have them.
That will be 3 silver if you have the cash for it.
Riki, that seems really cheap.
It does seem really cheap. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Should I keep the fog cloud up?
No, I wouldn't.
Jay sort of feels his way over to the bar and slides 3 silver coins across it, and strikes up a conversation with the innkeeper and says, "So, what sort of folk do you normally get through these here parts?"
Well, not many at this time of year, but normally we get travelers such as yourself, usually finding a place to stay out of difficult weather.
And what does he subsist on when there's no travelers?
Oh, well, it hasn't been a problem in the past. I also grow some vegetables out in the back, some lovely potatoes, and quite some Brussels sprouts, which are usually nice this time of year, and trade them to the south.
With no obvious hostility, I start to make the fog cloud dissipate, but I make it dissipate towards the dwarf.
As in, it clears it near the dwarf first, or?
No, it ends at the dwarf.
Right, okay.
The last place to clear.
All right, so the dwarf doesn't seem to have noticed that he's either asleep or heavily involved in drinking himself under the table. Even after the fog cloud came up.
Well, that was strange. That fog seems to have come from that dwarf. What? Oh, interesting. Is that normal here, Mr.
Puka. My name is Puka.
Mr. Puker. Wow.
This is the most fun bar ever. I think we're in for some good times, Jace.
It is an unusual name, hounded down to me. It's a family name.
What does it mean in your native tongue?
It's difficult to translate, and I think it is not worthy of your time.
Are you the purveyor of this establishment that's called Vomiter?
No, I am the purveyor, yes, but it's not. I don't know where you come up with that term.
But didn't you say your name was Puker?
Like I said, it's a unique family name. What is your name?
Maybe I misunderstood. I'm sorry. I thought you said the word that means to puke, to vomit. I misunderstood. It's poop.
Oh, I see. A common mistake.
Right. Yeah, that's okay. I'm sorry. Apologize for that. But strange, that fog cloud. Wow, that was really weird.
Yes. I don't understand where that came from. I do not. Maybe we have a hole in the roof where it came through.
Or maybe dwarfs fart fog clouds. I don't know. Is that normal?
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Here comes the 2 natural 20s. Come on. 2 natural 20s. Nope. That's a 5.
He looks at you a little bit skeptically and goes,
all the dwarfs that I have met don't have that ability. It would be strange if my customer over there did.
Oh,
maybe you can ask Angus.
How long has Angus been here for?
Oh, a few days. He's not. He has the coin and doesn't seem to be interested in leaving.
Okay. Well, do you think he'd be willing to talk to us?
If you can get him away from the ale, yes, possibly.
Jace goes, finds a table in a corner somewhere out of the way, and he starts casting Speak with Animals as a ritual. He's trying not to make it obvious, but he's decided that things are a bit weird enough in here that he's going to go out and take Ricky's advice and chat to the horse.
Okay, so that'll take you a little bit of time. As you head towards the table, Puka looks over at the rest of the party and goes,
you're looking a little bit hungry. Would you like to have some of the food I have on offer?
Well, I wouldn't say no. What do you have on offer, though? I mean, really.
I have some of the mixed vegetables that I grow here, roasted with a nice slice of warm bread. I caught some a deer recently, so we've got some fresh veal with cheese and potatoes.
Veal or venison?
Venison, yes. And we have a slow cooked beef broth with that same warm bread, or something that I happy to recommend to people that arrive. It's the Rojo surprise.
I think I'll go for the vegetables and the bread. That sounds delightful. I think I might have had my fill of cow a few days ago.
What was that other one you said? Something surprise?
The Rojo surprise.
What's inside? What's in it?
I'll order it and find out.
Jace sort of stops halfway to the table and turns back to the walks back to the bar and says, "Actually, that does sound very good. I'll have the Rojo surprise and a lager, but I'll take it up in my room if that's all right. I'm feeling rather tired."
Whatever you require. So here is your key, and he hands your key. It says it's the number 1 key, so it's the. He goes, it's first on the left as you enter up the stairs. And
Jace, did you pay for our rooms?
I did. You can get the next village, Wabani.
Okay.
So for the meals, that'll be 3 silver in total. If you'd like to pay.
Oh, the rooms are cheaper than the meal. My goodness.
No, it costs the same.
Oh.
Joe slaps Wabani on the back and says, "Thanks, Wabani."
So it looks at you expectantly, Puka.
Okay, you're welcome. Am I supposed to do something?
Are you going to give me the money?
I'm supposed to pay. Oh, I get it. This is one of those social cues. So I hand over. I might as well. I'll pick up Riki's, and I will pick up. I'll take one of the specials as well.
Okay, so 2 Rojo surprises and the what were you after, Riki? Was it the veal?
The vegetables.
Oh, the roasted vegetables with the warm bread. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he nods and heads out the back, and you can hear some clanging of plates and such as he starts to prepare the food. Is there anything you guys want to do while you wait?
As I'm sitting at the counter, I start counting out coppers.
I walk over and I say hello to the dwarf.
Okay. So have you already paid him, or are you counting
up
coppers?
I'm going to give him 20 coppers, and then how much was Riki's? Was it also 3?
It's 3 silver for total. And
3 silver total for all of us.
Yes, and he would not leave until he received the money.
All right, I would give him 20 coppers and 1 silver.
Okay, he takes it and looks at you a little bit quizzically, but puts it in his money box and goes to prepare the food.
Thank you.
Okay, so Riki's heading off to speak with the dwarf?
Yes.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm staying at the counter.
You're staying at the counter? Okay.
Jake's heading up to his room.
Yep. So you head towards the dwarf. He seems to be a tired-looking male dwarf with salt and pepper hair and salt and pepper beard. He doesn't seem to notice you as you come closer, but at one point as you walk closer, he takes a swig of the mug of ale and grumbles something incoherently, and then turns to look back towards the fire.
I say, "Greetings, Uncle."
What? Oh, you people. Wow, that's a change. How are you?
I'm well. How do you fare in your travels, Uncle Dwarf?
Name's Angus. Good,
Oh.
good. I guess. Really don't know. Well, what's your name?
My name's Riki,
Well met, Riki.
and this here is Bindi. Bindi's on my shoulder.
Does Bindi wave?
Bindi waves.
Oh, well, it's a strange beast you've got there, but well met, little thing, rat.
And I, from the counter for the bar, I stood up. Hello, and my name is Tame.
Tame, is it? Well,
Yes.
well met, Tame. Did you want to come over here? Or are
No,
you
I'm
staying
waiting
over
for
there?
Puka.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Oh, we just
Excuse me.
You seemed confused about how your travel was. Can we ask if everything's all right?
Oh, yeah, it's fine, really.
How long have you been here for?
I don't really know. I think it's been a few days, but it's hard to tell. Did you hear about the cream in the bathroom? He sort of a crazed look goes over his eyes, and he sort of leans towards you, Riki, and starts to whisper. Did you hear about the cream in the bathroom? It whispered to me once. Really, it did.
Oh, goodness. How long were you out in the snow for, Uncle Angus?
Don't listen to it. Don't listen to the cream. It's gibberish.
What does it?
Gibberish at it.
Oh, so it doesn't tell you anything in particular? It just babbles gibberish at you.
And then that crazed look goes and goes.
Sorry. I lost you for a second. What was that?
Well, I was just asking how long you'd been out in the snow for, Uncle Angus.
Oh, I try to stay out of the snow. It's cold out there. It's
Okay.
much warmer here.
Do you
what
like it
color
here?
is the cream?
Yeah.
Sorry, you're asking, do you like it? The snow
Yes,
is?
all right. What color is the cream? That's a fair question.
Sorry, cream? What are you saying about cream? What cream?
Oh, never mind.
The talking cream in the bathroom.
What is that? What is Tame talking about?
Oh no, it's just a song he likes to sing when he gets bored. So how is it here? Do you like it? Has it been a good stay?
The service is okay.
Just as he says that, Puka re-enters the room with with the three meals. So there's the roasted vegetables with the warm bread, which definitely looks inviting. The Rojo surprise consists of a sandwich with various levels of meat inside that don't seem to be cooked at all, and they seem to be oozing out blood at the moment. And he puts those down and goes, one roasted vegetables with warm bread and two Rojo surprises, as requested.
Oh, Rojo de Rojo. Oh, we were speaking celestial. That Rojo. Yeah. I'm sure you maybe wanted to even say crudo as well. I don't know. I look at him closely. I want insight check Puka.
Okay, what are you trying to insight check for?
That kind of Rojo reminds me of a certain type of bat that lives in the north that likes to eat blood. So I'm just like, oh, this is not appetizing.
He
11.
is hard to judge. You don't sense any sort of deception going on from what he says, because he's just presenting food. But
I'll join you in a second, Riki. Let me just take this plate up to Jace, and I'll be right back down.
Fair enough. I sit down and I start eating the vegetables and bread.
They're very nice. They're very very well cooked and with some spices that are hard to place, but they add to the meal and you feel quite satisfied.
That sounds delightful.
So you bring up the plates to Jace.
Yeah.
You find
Yeah, I
him,
leave
you
my
knock on
plate.
the door on the left.
Yeah, I leave my plate downstairs, and then I carry Jace's plate up.
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
It's been about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Jace.
Oh, you find Jace sitting down chanting.
Jace. Jace.
Jace curses and stops. He says, "Well, buddy, I'm gonna have to start all over again now. What is it?"
I got your Rojo surprise here.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, I think you probably want to take a look at it. I'm definitely surprised.
Jace looks past Wabani to make sure that the innkeeper's not there and said, "Well, it's okay. I wasn't going to eat it anyway. I suggest you don't either. This place seems weird. I'm just going to eat my trail rations. I think we get out of here as soon as the storm breaks."
In our travels, in our encounters with other undead, does this give me any inclination at all from what I'd seen and experienced with them that there's a relationship?
Make a religion check.
Shit, religion. That is a 12.
The level of undead that you have dealt with seem to be that you have been exposed to more on the mindless level. So
yeah,
this one certainly doesn't seem to fall into that category. He's Puka is a person with intelligence and understanding, and it doesn't just walk towards the nearest thing and try to eat it. So no.
It's really strange, Jace. Very, very strange, because I mean, up north there's a dish that we make where they very, very thin slice of raw meat, and it's quite good with some olive oil. But this is like gross.
Oh, I've travelled a lot, and a lot of local delicacies are quite gross to the strangers. But this place is weird. I'm with you here, and I don't think we should eat their food.
Should I do anything?
Well, stick around, guard me for 10 minutes while I finish this spell off, and we'll have a chat to some of the local wildlife.
Okay, I'll make sure that nobody disturbs you for 10 minutes. And I shut his door and I head back downstairs.
Okay. So, are you still speaking with Angus, Ricky?
Certainly am. Getting all the dwarf stories out of him he can handle to unburden himself with.
Okay. While he's been a little bit talkative now, he's sort of got looking a bit inward after that spate of crazed talking, and you might have to encourage him to speak a little bit further.
So I pull out my journal. I go to the index of colourful language, and I just start reading some through with him. See if it can lift his mood a little bit. See if he can contribute some new words.
Okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Ooh, 17.
So, some of the phrases that you have collected, they seem to bounce off his facade, and they don't take root. But one of them, which is a dwarfism that you picked up a long time ago when one of the dwarfs visited your homeland.
Wazik.
It triggers something in him, and his ability to block everything out is cracked somewhat, and he looks back at you and goes, "Oh,
Did you just say Wasik? Oh my god, I haven't heard that in ages.
I did. It's one of my favorites. I found it in an ancient dwarven tome and wrote it down for later.
Well, yeah, that's hilarious. Sit down, Riki. You gave him his name, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, good. Sit down, Riki. I might. Did you want a mug of ale? Puka, another mug of ale over here, for my friend.
Well, that's very kind. Well, it's very kind of you, Uncle Angus. Next shout's mine after this one.
Okay, so Puka looks up and goes,
So that will go on your tab, I think. Yes.
and he pours an ale and walks over and leaves it at the table. And then Angus goes in.
What's a fine lass like you doing here? You should be trying to get away.
Get away from what? This seems to be a odd but safe place to rest in a storm.
Well, it's I wish I was brave enough to leave, but I'll tell you one thing: the storm just doesn't finish. I've been here what feels like months, and it just keeps snowing. Snowing every day.
Really?
Have I arrived
How
back?
odd.
You can't hear it from where you are at the moment, Wabani. You'd have to get closer.
A storm that goes for months in one place when it's been warm weather elsewhere.
No, I can't explain it. I used to have friends with me, but they tried to brave the weather outside. I haven't seen them since. That was a couple of weeks ago. Please, you need to get me out of here.
Well, Uncle Angus, if we can make it out of here, we'll take you with us.
Well, I appreciate it. And whatever you do, don't eat that stupid broho surprise. I had it once and it made me throw up.
No, I'm not touching it. What is with this Puka guy? He seems mildly terrifying.
I don't know. He seems nice enough to me, from what I can tell. He's actually giving me free board and food. Well, at least he says he put it on the tab. And like I ran out of money about a week ago, but he's happy to let me stay here.
Is anyone else here apart from him?
No, it's just him and me.
And
My friends used to be here, but they left.
does he ever change outfit or change appearance?
He wears a different colored shirt sometimes. I don't know. It's hard to remember in these days.
And he takes another swig of
Okay.
the alcohol.
Okay. And so, apart from the stables, we've got the rooms upstairs. What else is there here?
You're asking him that?
Yeah.
It's just the stables and this place. Nothing else, as far as I'm aware. I walked around once and I didn't get far before I had to come back. It was too cold.
This is truly odd. Okay, because where are we geographically? Does that make any? It doesn't make any sense, does it? That this place is perpetually freezing.
Make an intelligence check.
Hang on. Oh, that's a save. Sorry, hang on. Intelligence check is 18.
Okay. So you have known some extraordinary weather events, or you've read about them from time to time, but nothing of what this guy is speaking of, a snowstorm this far south lasting for months, is beyond what you've ever read before. Now, like places to the north, in the northern west, that Wabani would live. There's certainly been blizzards that have lasted for weeks, like 1 or 2 weeks, but nothing more than that.
And have you asked, I'm still talking to Angus, have you asked Puka about this?
He just brushes it off as weather is normal. He seems to be happy to look after me from what I can tell. But yeah.
Where's he getting this bloodied meat from then? If you've been here for months and there's been no access.
Oh, he just gets it from the kitchen, from what I can tell.
So, I was thinking that as I was coming down the stairs, like, was the entrance to the kitchen like right behind the bar? Like, is it if sneaking is not my thing, but I was thinking to try to sneak if it looked like if it was off, on the other side of the stairs type thing, and kind of around a corner was the entrance type deal.
No, it's pretty much directly behind the bar, so it'd be very difficult to get there.
So I'll go up to the counter, grab my plate of Rojo Surprise, and join Riki and kind of throw the plate down on the table and just kind of nonchalance and sit down.
Okay.
Well met.
As you drop the plate, Angus sort of visibly moves away from the plate, but otherwise looks up at you and goes,
Well met as well.
I'm not going to eat that. I was surprised. He definitely got me there. I lost some silver on that particular plate of disgust.
Yes. Don't touch it, Tam. It'll make you sick.
Tame.
Sorry, Tame.
That's all right. So where do you come from, Mr. Dwarf? I'm sorry, my companion here, the Lady Riki, she probably talked your ear off. She does that.
Well, originally, I came from the Dwarven lands to the far northwest, but I've been in and around the pontavino recently. We were heading north to find some work around this area, and that's when my friends and I were stuck in the snowstorm. Luckily, we found this chalet, but for all it seems, it's like a prison, from what I can tell.
This is very odd. He's been here for months. When
Months?
There's not been weather like this elsewhere. Something's
what do you mean?
odd.
We just got here. We just arrived today, and it wasn't snowing yesterday.
Something's very odd here, Wabani. Could you? I know I don't usually ask this, but since recent events have had some impact on me, could you perhaps ask your goddess for a little bit of guidance here? This all seems very strange.
I mean, I could pray for sure, but before I pray, good Master Angus, in your travels, just curious, have you ever come across any of a tribe of half-orcs? And they're distinct half-orcs in the sense that they've got their orcish blood, but they also have the blood of the tieflings. Have you ever encountered a tribe of these fellows?
He looks up with a dazed expression, mainly from the amount of alcohol he's been drinking, and slowly shakes his head.
No, never seen. I've seen some orcs in my time, but nothing like you describe.
Right, gotcha. And at that point, I kind of just bow my head over the plate, like I'm not going to eat it, but I just bow my head over the plate, and I whisper a few words to Doneru, and I'm like, I know this might seem vain, my goddess, may you live forever, but I am curious, there's some strange weather effects out here, and maybe you can provide me with some insight?
Make a religion check.
5.
Okay. So you send your prayer out, but your connection here to her seems to feel a little bit more muted to normal, and you get no response.
At that, because it feels muted, I stand up quickly and I throw the table. What's going on here? I can't sense my goddess.
Make a strength check.
Strength check. Here we go.
To try and throw the table.
The glorious. Here it is. 10.
You try with all your might, but the table seems way too heavy, and all you get to do is sort of knock it around a little bit with the plate jiggling along the table.
I fall over backwards because I thought I would have the strength and momentum, then it didn't work, and so I fall over off balance. I splutter. Oh, what's going on here? Puka, Angus, I'm very upset.
So Angus looks a little bit shocked because it starts spluttering, but it's Puka who sort of looks and moves on a little bit towards you and goes, "What are you saying?"
My connection with my goddess, may she live forever. I cannot feel her here. What is going on? How is this possible?
I don't know what you speak of, but maybe it's something that you've eaten or something. I don't know, but there's nothing wrong here.
I grab the plate of Rojo Surprise and I throw it to the fireplace.
It the plate, which is porcelain, shatters against the back of the fireplace, and the meat sandwich, starts to smoke and blacken underneath the heat.
Does it smell good?
It smells better. However, Puka looks to you and goes, "Wow, that'll cost you another 5 copper for the destroyed plate, thank you."
And I slam my fist on the table, and I out of the side of my eye, I wink at Riki, and out of the side of my mouth, I'm just like, the very side of my mouth, I quietly whisper, I hope I'm doing the right thing here.
That's
and
so
then, then I say, Puka, 5 coppers. There is something strange going on here. In all my travels, I've never been cut off from my goddess. How is this possible in this, if you're the purveyor of this inn? Are you a no good evildoer?
I find your insinuations insulting.
They're meant to be insulting.
Okay. I say, all right. Okay, Wabani.
I cannot say why your link to your goddess is dimmed, but maybe that's because of you. I don't know. I don't deal with the divine.
Ooh. What do you deal with?
With the simple travelers and helping to alleviate their woes on their journeys to the south and to the north.
Okay. Well
As
then,
Riki says that, I cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
I burn a spell slot for it.
Yep. So your sense of magical items starts to permeate the room, and Riki lights up with a couple of items. Her cloak glows with a magical aura of abjuration, and there's also something in her pack that seems to show the same signs. But nothing else in the room indicates any sort of magical properties.
So as Riki continues to talk and I cast that spell, I whisper to her under my breath, "No magic."
oh, how long does the spell last for?
It lasts for like
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Quickly, run upstairs and have a look around.
And I stomp and prepare my way upstairs as Riki continues to speak.
Okay, so
Nice.
as you walk up to the stairs, can I get you to roll a perception check, please?
Oh, okay. 9.
In your anger, your eyes are clouded, and you stomp
I see
around. Yeah, that's all you do see. You stomp around without any detecting anything more.
Okay, so I just look around and say, oh, apologies, Puka. My travelling companion's clearly been on the road for too long. Say, excuse me, I'm Uncle Angus. I'll have to follow my friend and make sure he doesn't cause any damage. And I go upstairs as well, looking around.
Okay. So Angus sort of tips his hat, and Puka says, I understand. Hopefully your companion will calm down soon. He still owes me that 5 copper. And then he walks back to his normal place behind the bar.
Do I get to use perception as well, or is that just because Wabani was using detect magic?
That's for the latter.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so I follow Wabani. Where's Wabani gone to?
He's stomping around on the hallway, sort of hitting things indiscriminately. He's looking very angry.
Oh, Wabani, calm down. Let's explore these rooms and see what we can find.
And I whisper, I'm still detecting magic here. I'm just faking it.
Yep. So if there's nothing in the hallway, perhaps move into the bedrooms.
Yeah, I'm trying the doors. Some of them are locked.
So,
Are they locked?
you received the keys for your room. So Jace is in the first one, room 1. You have room 2, and Riki has room 3. Once Riki's come in to calm you down somewhat, you notice that room 4 glows with a slight level of magic, and there's rooms 5 to 8 after that show no signs.
And I indicate that room 4, Riki, room 4.
Good work. Can we get into room 4?
We can try, but let's not interrupt Jace because he's doing something. He got really pissed off when I interrupted him last.
Okay, let's have a look around. Can we see anything inside the rooms that we're allowed to go into?
You try the door first.
Which room are you trying?
Well...
The one where we got the magic from.
So room 4 door is set is locked?
That's closed and locked, yes.
Alright, so let's go into my room. Is room 3? Let's go into my room and have a poke around.
Okay, so there's nothing magical in Riki's room. It seems to be a simple...
Is there a door that separates her room from room 4, like a between room door?
Is there any Is there any cream in the room or the bathroom?
There's no cream in your room. There is a bathroom on the ground floor that you noticed on the way up.
Oh. Was there cream in there?
What? I don't think you've been in the bathroom yet.
Come on, Barney, let's look for the cream.
Oh, well, should we look in room 4 first? Can you open the door?
No, we can't get in.
Don't you got, like, magic to open doors?
Has it been 10 minutes yet?
It's about this time that your ritual finishes.
Okay. Jace come wanders out, and here's Wabani and Riki whispering about wanting to open a door, and Jace pulls out his pair of lockpicks and says, would these be useful?
What are you doing? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe. Open this door, Jace. We're trying to... There's magic from in here. We're trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
You work at the lock, but the door does not, like the lock does not budge. And after about 3 minutes of doing this, one of your tools breaks.
Okay. Joe says, yeah, I don't think this is going to work out for us, but I have got the talk with animals spell going, so just wanted to go outside and have a chat to some animals. Anyone want to come with me?
Right. Let's quickly go check the bathroom downstairs first. There's some talking cream in there.
Yes,
you hear a yes please from Riki's backpack, by the way. That's just for Jace. Oh, and Riki.
and me.
She wants
So
to go
we-
see the animal.
I put on my angry face again, and I tear a storm downstairs, using thaumaturgy to make my footsteps boom and echo.
As you head downstairs, Puka looks up and goes, "And that's 5 copper."
I walk into the bathroom.
I'll have the. Okay, so you walk into the bathroom. So the bathroom you find is not particularly large. There is a foyer area for the sink and to wash your hands, and a stall. On the bathroom table where the sink is, there is a pot of hand cream, white hand cream.
I'm like, Riki, there's cream in here.
Is it glowing?
Is it glowing?
It is not. No.
Is anything glowing in the bathroom?
No.
There's no magic in this bathroom.
I walk up to the hand cream and I say, "Hello."
Roll a perception check. You hear nothing in return.
Oh, I rolled a 5. I don't think I would hear Wabani talk with that. Okay. I poke at the cream a little bit.
It feels like normal hand cream. It's quite supple and it makes your hands feel hydrated.
I tried talking to it again. Hello.
You hear nothing.
Talking cream. That's just silliness.
Maybe if we pretend we're not looking at it. Doot, 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 and I turn the other way and I look very interested in the wall.
You still hear nothing.
Do you want me to put it on fire?
Kinda. But no, don't do that.
Well,
Is it at this moment Jace is sort of waiting to talk to animals?
Yes. So Jace, he's on a timer with the spell, and when the others seem to get distracted, he wanders outside to the stable and strikes up a conversation with the horse to begin with, and says, "Look, or actually, if he sees any rats along the way, he chats to them first. Any rats?"
Make a perception check.
Yeah, 8.
No, you don't see any rats.
Okay. Well, Jess rocks up to the dwarf's horse and says, "Greetings, horse."
Hello there, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Was wondering if you might mind answering a few questions.
Do you have a carrot? An apple?
Jace grabs some grain and offers the horse some grain. He's got some horse feed.
Oh, I've been eating that a lot. I wouldn't mind a sweet treat. Do you have a sweet treat?
No, not really. It's hard,
Oh, okay. What did you want to say?
He looks a little bit sad.
sorry.
In even longer face than normal.
So, how long have you been here for, here in this inn, friend horse?
Oh, I don't know. It's been a while.
Has it been snowing the whole time?
It's cold.
Has it been cold the whole time you've been here?
Yeah.
Have you seen many humans coming, or big humans or humanoids coming into the inn during this time you've been here?
I saw some people here recently.
Was it me and my friends?
There was 3 people with 3 horses over there. They're nice horses. Hello, Wildmane.
And the horse replies,
Go away.
Oh, do you have an apple?
No, sorry, but I could get you some grain if you'd like.
Okay.
I'll ask. I'll when I get in, I'll ask in the kitchen see if they've got any apples. Hey.
Oh, that would be nice.
Now, do you remember how many nights you've been here for?
More than 4.
More than 4. And other than us, have you seen any other people walking around?
Not recently. I used to have my other friends here, but they left. I'm still here. Do you have an apple?
Well, I'll go in and I'll ask about one.
Thank you.
Jace sort of has a bit of a quick wander around the yard, see if he can spot any animals at all.
No animals. Not
No
from that
animals.
perception check.
No. Okay. All right. Well, he heads back in, finds out what the other two are.
Is there hand cream smeared across the wall yet?
Yep, for sure. With Jace not being there to offer it to Jace to try for his complexion, at one point Wobani will get frustrated and he'll throw it at. He'll pick up the jar or the bowl, and he'll just kind of flick the bowl so the contents spill out.
Okay, but you're not shattering the bowl?
No.
Okay. All right, so nothing happens apart from what you'd expect from hand cream to be flicked onto the floor or the wall.
Well, that kind of looks gross.
Sort of oozes down a little bit.
I don't know if we would expect anything, but if it was going to talk, I mean, that should have made it at least groan. I didn't hear anything, Greeky. Did you hear anything?
No, I didn't hear anything. So, this place is a bit of a bust. I suggest that we get a good night's rest, wake up in the morning, have breakfast, and try and strike out of here.
Do you got an extra copper? I've only got 4.
Yeah. I can. Let me just have a quick rummage through and see what I've got.
I mean, I've got change. I could give him change, but I just get rid of my coppers.
Oh, all right. Here's some coppers. So how many? I give him 1 copper.
Give me a copper, and then I give. Then when we're heading back upstairs, I walk up to the counter, and then I put the 5 like they're in my hand, and I kind of slap them down on the countertop, and I look at Puka, and I'm like, I'm not happy. I can't hear my goddess. This is not right. This is not right. If I don't get a good night's sleep, I will seek retribution.
I'm very concerned that you're unhappy, and that's not my intention. I will help you whatever way I can. The rooms here are quite comfortable. You will have a good night's rest.
My pillow better be fluffy.
It's got an appropriate number of feathers in there from a goose. It will be lovely and fluffy.
So, hey
I head
Puka,
back up.
how much extra for room 4?
The room 4 is my room. It's not for sale.
Ah. Okay. Could I pay you to look around in there? I wouldn't go through your things, I swear.
No, thank you.
Ah. Okay. You have a bit to think about it. Let me know if you change your mind.
I don't think I will, but sure.
Okay. So I fair bid good night to is it evening time, or what time of the day is it?
It's evening, like you've had your dinner,
Okay.
and it's probably about 9 to 10 o'clock now.
Lord. Well, I wish good evening to good Uncle Angus, and I head off to have a good sleep.
Okay.
When you
what
come
about-
upstairs, I'm in the hallway in front of door 4 again, and I'm squatting down. I'm peering into the keyhole of the door, and with one hand I'm making somatic gestures, and I'm trying to cast a localized thunder wave inside the lock.
You can't look through the lock to see the other side.
I'm not trying to see through the other side. Thunderwave is a big spell with some big consequences. I'm trying to focus my arcanic ability to tighten it, to squeeze it, to focus it to a very fine point and put that point inside the locking mechanism.
Okay, make an Arcana check with disadvantage.
Jay sees Wabani squinting at the lock. And he says, Wabani, you want to see if we can climb around the outside of the building, see if we can get in through the window?
11.
Okay.
It might be too late.
You try it with all your might, and you focus your clerical abilities towards this, but you're able to concentrate it slightly, but as you release it, it kicks back off the door and you get knocked back. Can I get you to roll damage on yourself, please?
Oh, right on. Okay. Now, I don't have resistance to this, but it is my personal thunder wave. It's tied to my body's harmonics.
You do have resistance to thunder.
Oh, yes, I do have the resistance to thunder now. All right. Thunder damage from thunder wave is... Here we go. I cast this on myself. I rolled 12, but I only take 6.
So you get knocked back, and Jace, you see Wabani release a spell and then just get jettisoned back into the back wall and look a little bit stunned afterwards.
Wabani, let's get you out of the hallway before Apirka arrives.
I was sure that was going to work, Jace. Damn it. I know there's something back there. I know it's what's killing my connection.
As you're saying this, you can hear the doors creak slightly as someone is heading upstairs. Considering Thunderwave makes a loud noise.
Okay, big guy. Okay, big guy, time to get out of here. Into your room, quick smart.
I've run into room 3.
Into Riki's room.
Oh, I thought that was my room. So I thought it was mine, so I ran into it.
Okay. Jace goes in there as well because he wants to have a team conference.
Okay, team conference, but I'm pretty sure that I saw on the rules that room parties were not allowed.
No one ever reads the rules of the inns.
That's true. Alright, so, guys. Let's rest. You've got a couple of options. You can wait until he accesses his room and push in after him, which is, I don't know, unpleasant, rude, and illegal. But, or you can wait till the next morning and we try and make a run for it with Angus in tow.
We could go around the outside of the inn. We climb out the window and try and climb in his window. What do the windows look like?
It is snowing.
They're smallish. You could probably squeeze through the window that's there.
And outside, is there some sort of eave that we could sort of crawl along?
Make a perception check.
13.
There is a small ridge that sort of surrounds the window, but as you look off to your right to where the window should be for room 4, there is no window.
Ah, curses.
Well, how else could you open up a door?
I know.
Here's another idea. What if we... Can any of you guys, can we like shape water and put water inside the lock and then freeze it? That would surely work.
I can cast clairvoyance. I can create an invisible sensor within a range and a location familiar to you, or an obvious location that's unfamiliar to you, such as behind a door.
And what the hell does that do?
I can see and hear what's going on in that room. So
okay, we'll do that.
We'll wait until he goes into the room, and I'll spy on him.
Ooh, that sounds really cool. Can we watch too?
So you guys are waiting for him to go into his room?
That's what I'm proposing. Was everyone else think of that plan?
I think that's a good idea.
I think it's a good idea too.
Okay. So you're staying in Riki's room to do so? All right.
Yeah.
So you sit there for the next hour, and you hear some creaking as someone is walking by. What do you do?
Shh.
I
Quiet. He's there.
stick my head out to look. I mean, it's my room. I'm entitled to see who's wandering by.
You notice Angus walking along the hallway.
Say, good night, Uncle.
Oh, good night.
He sort of runs off to his room.
Why do you
Seems to
keep
be
calling
room
him
5.
uncle?
Oh, it was an affectation at first, and then it kind of stuck.
Okay.
It's better than you.
Is it discriminatory?
No. In my village, we call our sort of older males sort of uncle when we feel fond towards them.
What about the younger males?
Brother.
Ah. So, am I like brother?
Yeah. I think by now, yeah, you would be. Would you like to be called Brother Wabani?
I blush and I sit down.
A dodgy brother. That's very true. You are very much a brother in many senses of the word.
The solution architect, in fact.
Aww. I give him a pat on the arm.
Okay. So you hang around for the next half an hour, and you still hear no sign of Puka. Do you
So
keep
that's
waiting?
like a short rest then, huh? So I can use a healing hit dice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Short rest is 5 minutes, remember? So, 10 minutes, I think. So you can heal yourself up. Still no sign of them. How long do you guys want to wait?
Well, I think that we can wait quite a while. I mean, if we stay up all night, we can always just have a sleep during the day.
Well, you'll suffer fatigue, as in exhaustion, if you stay up all night. So I'm just checking.
Oh,
What
why
if,
don't we set a watch?
And before that, like, do we see, like, is there an attic in this chalet?
No. Not that you've noticed. I mean, you can look around.
Did we notice anything on the roof of the chalet when we were out and about?
Apart from it being quite a high, steeped roof to keep off the snow, which looked a little bit unusual considering some of the houses you saw at Terrason. No. There was the chimney. Nothing else that seemed to stick out.
Did we notice any stairs going down?
Okay.
Outside of the ones that you travelled up? No.
Yeah, like stairs into a basement or something.
Oh,
similar?
basement? No.
So what time is it now? It's getting about what point?
It's about 11:30.
Okay. Jace might just cast the spell now and have a bit of a look in there, and we'll see if we're barking at the wrong tree.
Okay. So mark your spell slot off. You perform the steps and speak the phrases for clairvoyance, but once you expect to see what's on the other side of the room, the spell fizzles out, but still uses a spell slot.
Okay. Something's blocking my spell. There's definitely something going on here.
I can cast a spell magic on the door and see if somebody can pick their way in.
It's a good idea.
When I had cast detect magic earlier, did I notice was it like the magic that I was sensing, was it coming from the door or was it coming from underneath, like seeping out and about around the door?
It was coming from the door and the wall on either side of it.
Oh, and so do I know what school it was when I'd seen that?
Abjuration.
So I let the guys know.
Yeah, that's consistent with Arcane Block, I assume.
I don't know. I've never heard of such a spell. I suppose, sure.
Okay,
So will Dispel Magic get rid of that, Riki?
Would I know this? Can I do an Arcana check?
You can. Yep.
As an 18.
You're pretty certain that Dispel Magic would clear an arcane lock, which is the arcane lock spell, yes.
Okay, so shall we all sneak out there and have another crack at the door?
Well, do you need to be... Can we do it from within this room? Can you do it like that? Or do we have to be in front of it, looking at it or touching it or something?
No, I think I can. I don't think I actually need to see it.
Well,
Like, I know that it's there.
If the plan's to go through the door, then we'll want to be in front of it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, this when you do it, is it like what Jace did? Do you need like 10 minutes in order to cast it?
Nope. I can cast it instantaneously.
Yeah,
Alright.
Clairvoyance I cast as a normal spell. It was only the Talk with Animals I cast as a ritual.
Let's do that. So, I open the door and I head over towards the room 4.
And Riki does the same?
And Jace.
Yes.
Okay, so so you attempt to dispel it, and you move through the same steps and perform the same arcane pronunciations as you would normally for a dispel magic. But at the point where you were hoping to dispel the magic there, it just fizzles out as well.
And I try the door because I assumed that was the expected result. Still locked.
So other spells have worked in this place, just not spells we're trying to cast on this room.
Why would that happen?
I don't know, something about the room being pretty special.
Is there like is that something you wizards can do? Like make it so that spells don't work?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd have to be particularly powerful, I would think. I certainly can't do it.
Did Puka didn't seem like a powerful person.
Well, if you were really powerful, you probably wouldn't seem very powerful, would you?
I don't know. I mean, freaking Cordwin Brown, that son of a bitch. I mean, he seemed powerful. Maybe it was because he just wore nice clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't always trust a book by its covers, can you?
I mean, I look at Jason. He doesn't give me the same sense that Cordwin Brown gave me. And he's always doing fancy dancy stuff.
Yeah. Don't know, maybe we should all have a rest and then see where the morning takes us. Maybe answers will come in our dreams.
Okay. I think it would be wise if we didn't split up. We should all, I think, share a room and set a watch.
Okay, this isn't Jace pulling one of his moves, is it? Because I bags the bed, you can have the floor.
That's fine. Of Jace's bedroll, I'm happy to sleep on that.
Okay, so you manage slightly awkwardly to have a watch over the night and rest through the night without any issue. And the next morning, you hear a bit of noise outside, like a clatter, like almost someone has fallen over.
Stick my head out the door.
It's Angus. He's tripped over, heading downstairs.
So, Uncle Angus, how did you rest?
Oh, it was okay. Oh, actually, slept well.
You guys, the bed was quite comfortable too for you, Riki.
Okay.
I'm gonna go get my morning sustenance.
So I've got my spell slot back now.
Oh yes, I'll mark a long rest for everyone.
Cool, thank you. So it's still snowing outside, is it?
It is.
Are we really surprised? Oh dear.
Well,
So is the fastest way to end this part of the adventure to give Puka an axe to the head?
You can try.
I'm beginning to think that.
I'm starting to think that would go quite badly.
so you guys just want to kill Puka?
No, I don't think so. That was out of character. No, I wouldn't. Let's go downstairs and we'll meet up again and talk about packing and trying to get out of here.
When I was on watch, did I hear Puka come into his room? My watch, I think, when is my watch? My watch is usually, I think I'm usually first. Oh
Make
shit,
a
I'm not even
perception
on
check
there.
for your watch. That's
I'm
okay.
not,
But make a
okay.
perception check for your watch. Oh, I know why you're not on there. Because you keep importing your character sheet each time.
Oh yeah, I rolled a 13 for my watch.
You didn't hear anything on your watch that would suggest that he walked to his room.
Did you guys hear Puka return to his room while you guys were on watch?
I got a 17.
I got a 20.
None of you heard anything outside of Angus.
So it sounds like he didn't come up.
He didn't come up. And you said that he said that was his room. And there's no window. And there's magic coming from it.
It's very odd.
Well, I think that there's a good chance that this unseasonal weather is being caused by someone or something here in this inn. And I've got to say, room number 4 is very suspicious. We could always smash the door open. And
wait, let's try this. I walk up to the wall, the corner, that is basically the adjoining wall to the room 4, but as close to the doors as possible. And then I try to cast Sacred Flame in my hand just to see if it has an effect.
How close are you to the wall?
I'm basically kissing the wall.
Okay, so you attempt to cast Sacred Flame, you go through the actions, and it sort of fizzles out at the end. Doesn't sound like it was like failed to cast. Oh, sorry, it doesn't feel like you didn't do the right actions. You got through it, but at the point where you should be seeing the flame appear, it does not.
Chase, Riki, I'm starting to get angry again. I cannot feel Doneru. And look at this. You see what just happened there? The beauty of her purple flame. So, what were you just saying, Riki? To bust the wall?
No.
No,
I think we should.
I was saying we bust the door down.
Yeah.
How strong did that door look? Was it like reinforced and whatnot?
It had metal reinforcement along it compared to the other rooms, yes.
And the wall between the rooms what is that made from?
That's made from simple wood.
What if we I don't have an axe or anything like this to hack at the wall. And imagine if we did shatter, that would make a hell of a noise.
Yeah, it would. It would be very, very loud.
Can either of you guys misty step your way into the other side?
Can I misty step to somewhere I can't see?
No, you can't.
No. That would be a bad idea. I could end up killing myself.
And unfortunately, the key, you can't see through it either. The keyhole on that damn door. Was there a gap underneath the door?
No, it's pretty much flush.
And the bands of metal were on all the edges of the door?
It was there's a band running along horizontally along the top and a band running horizontally along the bottom.
What about the plinth? What's the plinth constructed from?
The rest of the framework is wood. I think at this point we might leave it here, and you can, unless there's something you guys want to do in the last 5 minutes.
No, I want to figure it out, damn it. So I will think about it.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to do something.
I could cast suggestion on the innkeeper.
Oh, that's a good idea, Jace.
Yeah, maybe
like
we
that
all
idea.
get food poisoning and trip the light fantastic with the sandwich from hell.
Or do you think maybe Angus knows more than what he was saying?
Oh, I think he knows many things. I just don't think he's thinks that they would be helpful.
Okay, well, we'll figure this out. I know we've got it. We're heroes, damnations. We're the scions of Doneru. We brought a freaking temple up from underground. We can get into that damn room.
There
There's like
was
some kind of...
hold that thought in the forefront of your mind, and we'll continue.
Yep.
I think we will. Yes, it's probably a good point to leave it.
Sounds good.
So thank you for listening. I hope you had a good time. Remember, you can find us on Twitch, YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, and Discord. See the details in the descriptions below. And if you want to vote, come join us on the Filthy Pig Discord server. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.